Billy Beane, general manager of the Oakland Athletics, is facing many problems. The team just lost the 2001 American League Division Series to the New York Yankees after leading the series 2-0. A chance at redemption next season would have been realistic, if not because of free agents, Johnny Damon, Jason Giambi, and Jason Isringhausen, the team's three best players. They are leaving, because Oakland cannot match the hefty offers made by other groups. And because they have a small budget compared to other teams, they can't attract talented players to Oakland. But that's not all. Beane has no faith in the strategy of his scouting team. He thinks the scouts are trying to come up with a solution without knowing the real problem. It frustrates him to see that no one on his staff considers the issue. And above all else, he remains haunted by his failure. Beane's career in Major League Baseball was disappointing, despite the prediction of scouts that he had a bright future. He gave up his Stanford scholarship to play professional baseball, only to discover that he was not built for the big league. Contrary to what scouts and his parents told him, back when he was still a student athlete at Mount Carmel High School in San Diego. He took it as a personal failure, and he didn't want to keep on losing. He wanted to win. He wanted Oakland to win. And it begins with getting the right kind of players. He thought, at first, that he knew what kind of players he needed in order to win. So he sets up a meeting with the Cleveland Indians front office, hoping to negotiate a player acquisition or player swap with Oakland's current budget. But it didn't go as expected, and it was a bad thing, at first. He came to the meeting hoping to get at least one player to help Oakland win next season. During the scouting visit to the Cleveland Indians, Beane meets Peter Brand, a young Yale economics graduate with radical ideas about evaluating players. Peter is far from athletic. He has no history of competition-level baseball, even as an amateur. He doesn't have enough baseball experience or baseball pedigree to matter. But what he brings to the table is unique and rare, a new way of understanding how winning in baseball can be achieved. Peter is convinced that MLB managers are vulnerable to misjudging players and mismanaging teams. He believes that the current baseball thinking is medieval, and that they ask the wrong questions regarding player scouting. He explained to Billy the difference between buying players versus buying wins. Peter is confident with his belief but is not sure enough to put this out in the open, fearing becoming a pariah in the baseball world. His fear is valid. His frame of mind, on building a championship-caliber team on a budget, is against the shared reality in professional sports. Teams with money get the most talented players, and getting gifted players will get you the win. That's common sense. Peter challenged that notion. His algorithm for player performance monitoring and output projection suggests that these undervalued players are just as capable as expensive players in helping the team win a championship. Billy was on board. He wants to win a championship, and Oakland is a small market team that can't offer superstar contracts. This was the solution to the dilemma Oakland was facing. Billy and Peter sat down for a meeting with the scouting team. They tried to make a case for the replacement players, picked based on believing they were a good fit for the system. But Billy and Peter were ready to break the system apart and start something different, like signing catcher Scott Hatteberg and putting him on first base. He also wanted David Justice, who was past his prime, Chad Bradford, who pitched funny, and Jeremy Giambi, who seemed to be more focused on doing other things besides baseball. Many of Billy's decisions weren't just surprising to many people. It also didn't make sense to them. But the scouts understood that at the end of the day, it was Billy's decision on who Oakland will sign. Beane fires head scout Grady Fuson after a heated confrontation, during which he accuses Beane of destroying the team. Beane also faces opposition from Art Howe, the Athletics manager. Instead of fighting the general manager, Art Howe behaved professionally and fulfilled his role as manager to the letter. He knows he has the final say on which player to field, and he exercised that privilege, despite Billy's suggestion to put Hatteberg on first base and bench Pena. Early in the season, the Athletics are already 10 games behind first, leading critics to dismiss the new method as a failure. Nonetheless, Billy was committed to seeing this through, even if it meant more player movement. Oakland got new players in Ricardo Rinson and John Mabry for defense, while Mike Magnanti was cut from the team. Carlos Pena, the only promising player on the team, was traded for a reliever and cash. Oakland languished at the bottom of the American League standings, but not for long. Billy and Peter promised Athletics co-owner, Stephen Schott, that Oakland would start winning, and soon enough, they did. No one knows why or how, and the fans didn't care. What they cared about was Oakland winning again. They've won 7 straight matches, and Art is getting the credit. But Billy does not mind. The once empty stands are packed to the rafters, filled with screaming fans. They came here to watch Oakland win. Oakland got the chance to go for a historic 20-game winning streak on September 4, 2002, against Kansas City. Everyone is excited to watch Oakland play. Bean, superstitiously, refuses to watch games that are in progress. He never watched the team play at the Coliseum, because he did not want to have a personal relationship with the players he would one day trade or cut. That's his style, and he didn't want to do something out of the ordinary, fearing he would jinx Oakland and cost the team the record-breaking 20-game winning streak. Bean's daughter persuades him to attend the next game against the Kansas City Royals. He does just that, thinking Oakland had the win in the bag with an 11-0 lead. Oakland is leading 11-0 when Bean arrives in the 4th inning, only to watch the Royals even the score. Thanks to a walk-off home run by Hatteberg, the Athletics achieved a record-breaking 20th consecutive win. By this time, many people are all praising the Oakland Athletics. For the fans, it felt like this team is unbeatable, but they aren't. The Athletics eventually won the 2002 American League West title, but lost to the Minnesota Twins in the American League Division Series. It was as Billy feared, failing to win when it mattered. The critics are short-sighted. They praised Oakland when the team was stringing up wins, but when they lost against Minnesota, in the American League Division Series, they called the system in Oakland flawed, the use of statistics, pure gimmick. But not for Boston Red Sox owner John W. Henry. He believed in what Billy and Peter did in Oakland. That's why he called Billy and set up a meeting in Boston. Billy was offered a job as the new general manager for the Boston Red Sox for $12.5 million, which would make him the highest-paid general manager in professional sports history. Billy returned to Oakland, still nursing his disappointment after losing to Minnesota. While disclosing the offer to Brand, says that he ultimately sees their strategy as a failure. Brand shows a video of a heavy-set batter, Jeremy Brown, who hits a home run but doesn't realize it at first, and tells Bean that he did the same. The message is clear for Billy. The statistics-based approach they used, in Oakland, to build a good team on a budget is a home run. Later, Bean is driving in his car, and listens to a CD made by his daughter. The CD starts with a message from her, mentioning his decision on whether he will stay in California, and that he's a great dad. She sings "The Show" by Lenka, but changes the final lyrics to "You're such a loser, Dad, just enjoy the show." Bean declined the Red Sox's offer, in order to remain with the Athletics. The Red Sox won the 2004 World Series using the model the Athletics pioneered, breaking the team's 86-year drought. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more true stories like this one. We would like to know your thoughts about this story in the comments section down below. A like and share are also welcome. Have a great day.